Hi there, and thank you for joining Change I Am Possible, India's first future tech podcast. Do kindly subscribe, support, and share. So, the positives of COVID 19 has been the clearing of the toxic pollution caused by the petrol and diesel vehicles. They have been the primary cause of global warming. So, electric vehicles are the need of the day, but do we have landfills to dispose of our IC vehicles once we move on to AVs? Are our congested roads capable of handling more vehicles? Spoke to Ashar Ahmed Sheikh, CTO of Bharat Mobi. He has been part of the design and development of 3 utility electric vehicles. He also holds patents in energy and e-mobility sector. So Bharat Mobi is committed to electrify India's mobility industry without adding a single new vehicle to the already congested Indian roads. So they build EV conversion kits which can be retrofitted to any regular vehicles. A novel idea if the price point becomes competitive. I wish you enjoyed this conversation.
Asha, so you are building a retrofit kit to make your normal IC vehicle electric, right? And a company is called Bharat Mobi. Could you share a little light on what Bharat Mobi is and what you're doing with the retrofit kit that you're building?
Unlike others, those who are approaching electrification of mobility in terms of building new EVs, we have a bit different approach that is called retrofitting. So we convert existing petrol diesel vehicles into electric by removing the IC engine and the powertrain with the conventional powertrain with electric powertrain. So the idea is, if we notice the world, or specifically talking about our nation, India, we are facing three major issues, the major crisis. So air pollution is there, then traffic congestion is there, and then vehicle scrapping.
Mhm.
And if we want to find a common solution to address these three issues, then we can come up with an idea of electrification of existing petrol diesel vehicles into electric. That's how retrofitting concept came to us, and came in our mind, and we started working on that. So in Bharat Mobi, as of now, we are converting cars into electric. So yeah, as of now, we are converting three different models of Maruti, Alto, Wagner, and Swift Desire, to be specific. Yeah.
So you're saying that you're converting only 3 different models. That's about it. So you're a you're a very limited capabilities at this point in time. But yes, I definitely like the approach because yes, I mean today COVID-19, because of COVID-19 everybody is at home, and one thing that's come out good of COVID-19 is that the environment has become crystal clear, right? I mean you can actually look at the there's no smog because I'm from Bombay, and wake up in the morning and you wake up to smog, you wake up to traffic, and so these are major problems, and I think the biggest problem is going to be is because we've got some 1.3 billion people, right? And there's so many people who own cars now. If and when we go electric, scrapping of the vehicles will be a major problem. But then just recently I was having a conversation with a CEO of India's largest EV company, and he was not so very excited about retrofitting a regular vehicle with electric vehicle capabilities. So could you share a little more light on that? Is that the way forward?
Definitely, electric vehicles are going to be the future, right? But what we feel is retrofitting can be the need of the hour. So retrofitting can be the need of the hour. And in terms of retrofitting, as you said, we are limited to three models. The reason is, whenever we are retrofitting a car, a particular model, we need to have certification and approvals from RTA, as well as government authorities like ARAI or ICAT. So as of now, we have sought the required certification, or we have required permissions for Alto, Wagner, and Swift Desire through our associates and all. And another thing, why people hesitate to go for approach of retrofitting, or converting existing vehicles into electric, is one factor that comes we need to ensure is safety of the vehicle. So whenever we are converting a old model into electric, we need to check the safety aspect of that thing in a proper way. So whether the vehicle, after conversion is safe enough to drive because those who are converting, that the age of the vehicle might be 5 years to 10 years or 12 years, something like that. So after using the vehicle after 10, 12 years, they have to, make sure that safety parameters of the vehicles are maintained.
Right. So, if you get onto YouTube or Google, there's so many people who are actually providing you your do-it-yourself home kits for retrofitting your vehicle cars. And eTrio seems to be like another startup which is based out of Hyderabad again, who's actually retrofitting regular vehicles with electric vehicle capability. Now the price points has been a little funky, because I mean I believe that their retrofit kit is somewhere around 3.5 lakh or something in that range. So what is the price point of your retrofit kit?
So as of now, we are offering for Alto and Wagner at a price of 5 lakh rupees,
Hmm.
and for Swift Desire at a price of 6 lakh rupees, the conversion. And the cost is high because of battery, price. So in India, like lithium ion cells, like what technology we use is lithium ion cells, and these cells are not manufactured in India. So we need to depend on our supply chain from other countries, Asian countries, as you know, like what are the countries have for electric vehicle market and all. So we need to have like dependency on that in terms of those components and all. So yeah, so because of that, the price is a bit high. Anyhow, we are working on like how we can reduce the price in terms of getting subsidies from government or whatever means possible.
Right. So what makes Bharat Mobi different? Could you share the tech specifications of what goes inside building a retrofit kit for a vehicle?
We have worked for different technical teams which participate in Formula Student events and solar electric events and all. So what we did with our first car was we retrofitted a Maruti Esteem into electric during the college time as a part of project. But at that time we haven't used a high tech motor or battery or controller, that kind of thing. So whatever things available with it, but as a part of offering that project as a product, when we approached it first, so we used better quality motor, controller, and battery, because these are the three major components that plays a major role or key role in functioning of an EV. So battery, motor, controller. So yeah. So as of now, we are using a 15 kilowatt motor with 12 kilowatt hour battery. And what we do is we remove the engine completely. And whatever subsystems are related with regards to fuel tank or fuel line or those kind of things. So we remove those components completely. And yeah, so after removing those things, we replace that thing with a powertrain of an electric based motor. So electric motor with the controller and a battery. And after that, we do few changes with the functionality of AC also, because a current AC, like air conditioning of a car, how it functions is it is associated or it is configured with engine functionality. So we need to have some converters for that. So we do bit changes in that also.
Right. So yes, I mean, coming back to the earlier question, what makes Bharat Mobi different? And can you share a little bit more about your team?
Yeah. So, myself and Akbar, when we were into college, from that time, like we were working on this projects of different electric vehicles or combustion vehicles and all. So that made us, work together and to come on same page in order to, bring this product as a retrofitted electric vehicle or retrofitted car. So yeah, coming to our approach is what we are doing is we are converting existing vehicles into electric. And yeah, so in India, there are more than 230 million vehicles on road. That's according to old data of 2016 I'm talking about. So if you see how those many vehicles are already on road, and if we see today's 2020 times, so there will be more vehicles. There will be growth in vehicular population. So that's the case. And another thing, like the states and cities like Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, those were feeling heavy traffic. So traffic congestion is the another issue what we people are facing. And yeah, and another thing, as I specified earlier also, so vehicle scrapping. So according to NGT report, around 20 million vehicles will be there that will be scrapped by the coming of 2020. So those million vehicles, we don't have infrastructure to scrap those vehicles. So that's the one case we need to work on. So our approach is a bit different in terms of instead of building new EV, we are retrofitting the existing one.
So yes, I think that I believe that's a very brilliant way to look at things, because yes, I mean you said the old data says we have somewhere around 230 million vehicles at this point in time, and at any given point in time when we actually look at going completely electric, scrapping will definitely be a problem. So that's where I think retrofitting definitely works. But so tell me, why only three cars? Are you looking to expand that portfolio, or what is the limitation?
Yeah, why only three cars means, as I told you, we need to have certification and approval from government in terms of the model what we convert. So there are set of regulations that we need to follow. We need to do the testing at ARAI and ICAT and the other authorizing bodies. So what we need to do is we need to have that certification and all. And apart from that, another thing is that RTE approval and all. So as of now, we have what you can say, permission for these three models.
Right. And do you have any expansion plans, or is it just the service available only in Hyderabad?
Yeah, the services as of now available in Hyderabad. We are, closely analyzing the cost of ownership and how this TCO analysis and other things we are doing, and how we can better offer the feasible solutions for mobility, e-mobility. We are analyzing that thing because why we selected these three cars was Alto, Wagner. These are most used car by family people, and if we see the government fleet, and also Swift Desire is major part of their government fleet and organization fleet and all. So that was the reason why we selected these three models.
So as a startup, are you guys bootstrapped? Are you looking at striking partnerships to move this conversation forward?
Yeah, as of now, we are bootstrapped, and the in terms of partnership and all, we have a B2C, MOU with Etrio in term to be a B2C channel partner for them. So we have been Bharat Mobi has been appointed as a B2C channel partner by Etrio. So yeah, so whatever B2C leads in terms of conversion of existing vehicles into existing cars into electric is concerned.
Right. So again, I'll come back to the pricing point. Does the pricing point of between 5 to 6 lakh for conversion kit, is that feasible? Because see, if you do a CNG conversion at this point in time, that's somewhere around $30,000. In US, they have these retrofit kit for autonomous vehicle capability, which actually uses your phone. That's about it. That's somewhere around $1,000. It's close to 75, 77,000 odd. So those price points, I believe, it's more easier on a middle class per person to kind of say, okay, instead of going for a completely brand new electric vehicle with all the connectivity and all the latest tech specs in there. Like for example, Tata Tigor is somewhere around 9.5 lakh, right? And Tata, the new Tata Nexon AV is going to be somewhere around 13.99, 14 lakh or odd.
Right.
So what sets you apart? I mean, because I mean, are you going to be a little bit more competitive on the price point so that the general public says, okay, so this is not just something which I'm going to do for the environment; it's also easier on my purse.
Yeah, see, as of now, for this thing, what price we are offering for 5 lakh and 6 lakhs also, if we see the operational cost, it is much more convenient for a perspective of a person in order to get it converted and have a return period of 2 or 3 years to recover whatever amount he has spent. So the major thing what the people see as a perspective is. When we are telling about spending 5 or 6 lakh rupees for converting their vehicle into electric, so they feel price is much high. So what can be done in terms of providing them or giving them a provision is something like uh, if we can avail them subsidies from government or some kind of support, then it will be even if we consider battery, so battery for new car or a battery for retrofitted car, so battery will be a common parameter or a common factor. So when there are subsidies for batteries of new vehicles, new cars, the something if is there for and retrofitting possibility also, then the price can be brought to around somewhere 3.5 or something like that.
Right, right. So, so when you buy a new electric vehicle, so it's not just, the car comes with, your complete features. Most of them are connected. Like, for example, Mahindra's EV has Nemo app. It also has E20 app, which lets you lock, unlock the car, pre-cool your car, access the revive feature on the car's dashboard, which keeps you updated and gives you additional kilometer if you're like stuck somewhere, you're out of charge. So does your vehicle also offer the connectivity features, or is it just a retrofit kit model which just gives you from your ICE vehicle, it just makes it electric?
Yeah, see, we offer this thing as telematics feature, so that allows a user to have functionality to check various parameters of its battery and vehicle health and all over a desktop or a mobile device or something like that. So yeah, and another thing is like the dashboard and all. So the dashboard is equipped with continuous monitoring of voltage parameter, so state of charge. So if the vehicle is discharged, let's suppose below 20% of its complete charge, then it will give an intimation to the driver saying that yeah, he has to be very conscious about finding a charging station or having a socket for charging. So the charging thing is we offer onboard charger, so similar to what other companies or other cars are offering. So onboard charging is what a user can charge through a socket of 16 amp. Yeah, even at their home.
Right. So what do you see the challenges of EV adoption at this point in time? Though that Nitin Gadkari, the transport minister, at one point said that he would like by 2030 for the entire country to go electric. But at this point in time, people are so complacent and nobody really gives a damn about the environment. Right? Suddenly, COVID-19 has happened, and maybe now people will understand that. How important it is for us to keep our environment clean. So, what according to you one must do specifically for a startup like you who's really now at the forefront of the, the the change or the future of mobility, what you should what are the steps that you think you should do to kind of push drive the conversation or educate people about the importance of going electric?
See, the importance of going electric, we can, convey it to people, we can convey it to, people around us. But what will make it happen in reality is the complete EV ecosystem
Ecosystem.
that must be present. So when I'm talking about EV ecosystem, so I'm talking about power generation, grid management, power management for charging those EVs that will come on road. So that thing is there. Then subsidies and schemes from the government, and then vehicle leasing elements. Then vehicle leasing elements are there. Then apart from that, electric vehicle financing options, financing companies, then electric vehicle insurance companies, and electric vehicle inspection companies, then troubleshooting centers. Then we must have electrification centers. So different elements plays an important role in terms of what EV ecosystem I'm talking about. So if all these things are there, then the people, general public or the people will be more confident in terms of going for electric car. Now when I'm talking even to my friends. So what they feel is there is no charging infrastructure. So many factors are there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, at this point in time, there is so many drawbacks. Even in a city like Bombay, we have only specific locations in Bombay where there are these charging docks, in petrol. I think
Yeah.
charging docks should be all over. I mean, all over the city. Battery again is a problem. It's way too expensive at this point in time. And even if you, for example, if you charge your vehicle and if you go out of city, then that's a problem. So yes, infrastructure is a big problem. So all of these once these get sorted, I think the adoption will start coming through. So what's the competition like in the space for you guys? I mean, are there any other startups who are doing the same thing what you're doing?
Yeah, if there are many other players, those who are doing this thing, retrofitting and all, globally. Even in India, few people have tried doing it, in terms of DIY kit or something like that. But something rock solid, I have not found. Like these are the major players, those who are doing. So yeah, ETO is the pioneer for retrofitting concept and retrofitting technology that they brought into India, years back.
Right. So yes, I mean it's not about being expensive, but it's about like at this point in time, we chatting earlier. You said the infrastructure is not there, right? So once possibly the infrastructure comes into place, there are these government subsidies and support system in place. I think that will drive the EV ecosystem forward, because I think it's a no-brainer. Your IC vehicles have been killing the environment. The reason we the world is getting, the environment is getting bad is because of the growing number of IC vehicles in a planet. So yes, I mean I think EV will play a big role in some way reversing the environmental damage. So what, tell me, what are your future plans for Bharat Mobi?
Yeah, so as of now, seeing at the perspective of this COVID-19 and all, so we had this plan of offering many mobility solutions. So not only limited to retrofitting. So if the solutions can be from micro mobility to macro mobility, so various EV solutions, so that the people will get an affordable and eco-friendly way to commute. So yeah, because as I told you, so retrofitting is one way or one approach of electrifying mobility. So we are seeing different models of mobility, from electric rickshaws to electric cars are there, new electric rickshaws, new electric cars are there, and yeah, so electric bicycles are there, electric bikes are there. So there are different approaches to how we electrify mobility. So yeah, we would like to offer some services, or our plan is to offer some services with regards to different angles of mobility or different segments of mobility, where people can be it is open for people to choose a new EV or a retrofitting of an EV.
Right. So yes, I think, I mean, when you say retrofitting of these rickshaws or bike, I think that would be the first start. I guess it's always these incremental steps which makes up into this big thing. So I think starting first with maybe like bikes, or e-rickshaws would be like the first step towards making people understand about the larger good of going electric. So if I were your customer, how would you sell me the idea of going electric? What would be your pitch?
See, the major concern is about environment, right? And people, like in today's time, they feel about environment, but the primary part what they do is about the price part or the cost part, how much they have to spend. So if we talk about let's suppose a normal vehicle. Let's take an example of a normal vehicle which gives 20 kilometer per liter, right? So like let's take an example of 20 kilometer per liter. So how for if you want to go for, let's suppose, 100 kilometer, so how much you would be requiring is around 5 liter, right?
Right,
So
right.
for this for this 5 liter, so according to what price we have today, for if we calculate, will be coming around somewhere around 400 to something. So with that price 400, and if we compare an electric vehicle, so in electric vehicle, same 100 kilometer can be given by a battery of let's suppose a 12 kilowatt hour. So this 12 kilowatt hour, while charging with a 3.3 kilowatt hour of charger, 3.3 kilowatt charger, so it will be coming somewhere around 12 units. And if we compare one unit price in Delhi or Mumbai, in Delhi 3 rupees or something like that, so 36 rupees, or like it is quite economical and convenient for a person who is using an EV. So this is just an idea about operational cost. So even though initially you have to spend much about for conversion, but like during the run of EV, you will be able to recover that amount. And majorly, yeah, operational cost is less. And another thing about maintenance. So when we talk about a normal car, it is having more than 2000 moving components. So but when we come to an EV, whether it is a retrofitted or EV, an electric vehicle, a new electric vehicle, it is hardly having more than 20 moving components. So that reduces drastically the amount of efforts we are spending on maintenance part, maintenance cost, as well as our efforts to have the periodic maintenance and those kind of things.
Right. So one last course. If somebody gets your retrofit kit model onto his regular vehicle, what, how soon can he get that done? What are the services, after services that are provided? Will the vehicle's capability reduce or increase? What I mean by that is, give me the tech specification. What
I am
all are the
getting that point.
benefits? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So once the customer give us the vehicle, so we take hardly 7 to 8 days for complete conversion. So whenever they give us the vehicle, so we can give them back within a span of 7 to 8 days with a complete conversion. So complete conversion means that will that will have conversion of or conversion of ice based engine powertrain to an electric powertrain, and other facilities of what we are offering, from onboard charging facility to a new dashboard and AC functionality and other things. So yeah, 7 to 8 days will be the time. Yeah, so in terms of services, as I told you, so we have telematics functionality. So we will be able to monitor health of your battery. Majorly, that's the key parameter to be monitor and maintain. So we will be able to observe the health of your battery. So and health of your other devices also, what are there. So yeah, so that gives us a quite clarity about your maintenance requirement and all. So and apart from that, as I told you, there will be very less maintenance, and we are already in discussion with a few national wide players, those who provide services for maintenance and all.
Right. So yeah, and to finish that off, I mean, so once you add the retrofit kit model onto a regular vehicle, what are the plus points? As in, is there going to be an increase in the capabilities of the vehicle, or everything's going to remain the same, or is something going to deteriorate?
Yeah. You asked this thing earlier also, but yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of changes, so the weight and all will be almost same. The weight of the vehicle after the conversion will be almost same, or there might be a bit increment, but it will not get reduced. So the whole vehicle dynamics of the vehicle will be maintained, and as the batteries are kept, so because of the battery's position, the CG will come down. So that will increase the stability of vehicle. And apart from that, the braking mechanism and steering mechanism, rest of the things are same. So will not be altered. So what we do is when we put our electric kit into it, so we tune the steering system, we tune the suspension system, we tune the braking system, so that it will be according to an EV.
Right, right.
So it will be enhanced. It will enhance because when we see a normal car, as I give you an example, for 100 kilometer, if a car gives 20 kilometer per liter, so with that calculation we can see, so the it is more economical, or it is more convenient to have an electric powertrain in your car.
Lovely. Ashar, thank you for giving time and really appreciate you talking with us and shining light on the company that you're building, the retrofit kit model that you're building. And I personally believe that I think the future of mobility is electric, and then it goes to autonomous. I mean, but the first step to the future of mobility is electric. And I definitely do believe that a retrofit model is the way to go forward, because yes, obviously the scrapping of the vehicle is going to be a big issue, and if we have these kits which can be retrofitted onto your regular vehicles, that will solve the problem. But yes, I believe that the price point is an
Is a
issue, and
concern.
yeah, and if you can make the price point dynamic, I think retrofit would be the way forward. And yes, I guess, I mean, for you, which I feel like even the show does, I mean, the ethos is to kind of like connect with the community and make people aware about the importance of going electric, not just on the environment but on the pocket also. So thank you, Asher. Really appreciate you being part of Change and Possible podcast. Really wish you the very best for the future and Bharat Mobi. And to my listeners, if you like what you see, please press the subscribe button. Until next time, see you. Bye bye. Thank you.